How y'all doing? This is your boy, EDI KRIZ OKRI. Uh, I'm starting a new idea. I'm talking about me, myself, you know, uh, my experience in life, things I've been through, as a recording artist. A lot has gone wrong, and I just give thanks to God Almighty, the creator of all, that have guided me through the parts and experience of life that I really, you know, thank the Lord that He sent me an angel, you know, that is a friend, intuitive friend, that's what I call it, internal friend, that always, advise me and when the mind is polluted with, frustration of life, and it's not been easy, it's not been easy life. But that's why I do not feel sorry for those that, commit suicide or do drugs to calm their frustration. You hurting yourself. And you have to follow the rules and the commandment of God. Because when you get out of the spirit, it's a different dilemma you're going to be facing in the spirit. Do not let the sins of the flesh affect your spirit. Because remember and notice that we are human spirits. We are a trinity as our creator. When they say God, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, it is the body. It is the same as the body of the human, the soul, and the spirit. That's how we are. The humans has physical body which we come to this earth to experience life, to prepare us, our soul, to ascend back into the spiritual realm. So at the end of the day, it all depends on you, how you want to see things, how you want to do things, how you want to, you know, see life as a do or die thing. Because one thing that really happened here is that we are on a journey. And that journey of life is because we are filled of sins. And when you're filled of sins, and that's why you're born into this physical earth, and you're supposed to go to paradise, but you got to this earth and you're now like, wow, if this earth is this beautiful, how beautiful you think paradise will be? That is why we are supposed to know the rules of existence. We are on a journey. The journey is not that far, but from the way we have taken it is very, very far because we now go through reincarnation. So that all this guided me through my personal existence. God never met love, never, met any good woman that's okay, like be a companion. Never. All the ones that met were frustrating, full of demonic powers that they use that come from a very bad background. And my family line too help. My family line never helped. It was very bad family. We got the big name. That's why I'm telling you, it's going to be a long, long talk here, my people, because you want to hear it all. You know, the downfall of a man comes from his house. Yeah, the downfall of a man do really come from his house. And when we do things that, that continue with failure, and you, as a man, you don't know how, to say, okay, I want to check on this thing. I want to do this. I want to do that. The problem will continue to compound, to expand, and possibly you will die of it in sickness or whatever. That's how the enemy works, through the powers of darkness, witches and wizards in the family. You see, and when you go through rigorous life, it's because a lot of jealous and evil-minded people have seen your star. They've seen your destiny. They've seen your glory. They've seen all the great things of life that comes to you, that connected to you through the glory of the Most High. So what would they do? Instead of them protecting that star, they rather destroy it out of jealousy, because they're not happy that they're not the carrier of that glory. But they forgot something, that if we hurt this person, we hurt ourselves. They don't care. If we try to obstruct and disturb that glory, we destroy ourselves. They don't care. They don't think. Witches and wizards don't think. They don't think about the later effects. They don't never bother about what's gonna happen to me. What's gonna happen to us. But you forget that this person you're disturbing is guided by special angelic forces that fights back. It's like my story, my history of life. A lot that hurt me have perished, and they keep on recruiting more. Now, my mother is passed, my father is passed, but we originally supposed to be a great family with love. And come to find out, the generational curse of brother not loving brother just came true. I got one of the greatest talents ever. But anytime when I'm trying to do something great, someone will disturb it, will mess it up. There's like something in the wind, like, showing a different face of me, a different personality of me to the world. Bad one for that matter. Meanwhile, from my innermost self, I'm a saint. I don't put my hands where I never ripped. I don't mind staying hungry. I don't mind, you know, just uh, just lamenting over my life till I finally, put things together for myself, you know. So at the end of the day, uh, we just decided to put things together for ourselves that we can always remember that I live this life. I never shed no blood, never hurt nobody, and my spirit is at peace. Um, I'm a Delta born from Ughelli, and my father was a soldier, never got promoted, lived a very poor life, but we lived with it. Sometimes my mother just go. I wrote a song. When I wrote the song, "I Love You, Mama." Everything we went through there, I put it in there. Sometimes no money to cook. My mama would go in the woods, go look for some real fresh vegetables, hook it up with, with okra or whatever it is, and cook some, no meat, no fish in it. And we eat and get fat. We eat and get fat. And it was the sweetest life ever. You just go through the hardship and just feel like nothing. So I grew up with that, I, then suddenly at the age of 5 to 7, involving local craft like, dancing, and little comedy, joke, that I was overdoing that my mama whooped my butt once in a while. You joke too much, no. That one could get a career from this in the future. So, at the end of the day, I have an older brother who is in the writing. So we're from the Okri family. So the two brothers, Silver and Solomon, never got along. The same thing with the grandparents, Okri and Omoko, never got along. And I know the one that gave birth to them and their brothers too probably never got along. So, but me, I'm next to have an elder brother who, at the initial stage, when we were still poor, showed me love till he got married to a woman that is actually rejected from our hometown. That even our dad, like, no, you cannot get married to this woman. He denounced everybody and went ahead and married a woman. You know how he turned? He turned a monster himself. They brought in witchcraft, brought in all kind of evil, whatever. I had a brother, like, when we were younger, he was doing backup then. Well, let me take it this way. Let me not go too fast on it, because we got time to talk about this, and we're gonna be talking about it for at least 2 hours if you're ready to listen. This is Biography of EDI KRIZ OKRI. Everything, everything. I don't need a code director or whatever. I'm giving it to you right here, as raw as it is, and it is it is what it is. There's no editing here. I'm just running it straight because I'm used to the cameras and whatever words you think or you don't know about, like you want to get clarity, you can inbox me on my YouTube. Right. And like I was saying, sometimes when I said the downfall of a man or the tribulations that a man goes through comes from the family. From my father's side, the two of them, Silver and Solomon Esses, but two brothers never got a, they don't agree together. They hate each other. So what do you think will happen to the children? Their father, which is my grandfather, and his other brother never got along, that they cussed each other. They changed. One like, listen, I am not going to be Okri no more. And he used another name, the real name of their grandfather, which is Omoko. I keep on pondering. And the children, listen now, we have, my grandfather have a brother. Let me start from my grandfather to make you really understand this. My grandfather have a brother. They never got, they never agreed together. They never got any love for each other. And something happened. They cursed each other and denounced each other and swore that their children can never relate together as brothers and sisters. And the younger one changed his name from Okri to Omoko. That was terrible, right? Then come to me. Well, my father, Solomon, and his older brother, Silver, never got along. They always quarreling, fighting. But my father loved his older brother to death. He was 15 years older than him, so he saw him as a father. Always respected him. But the older brother despised him, looked down on him. And he's like, well, my father told him one day, all these guys you're hanging around with are boys that used to respect me. But you carry them as egg and dishonor me. I was there several times. Two brothers, old men in their 50s, fighting each other. Well, we're poor. We have no say. We'll cry over it sometimes. And, like, come on. This is not good. So, them on my father's side, I stayed with my father's older brother, who was Silver, and I was terribly abused in that house. He abused me so badly. I went there because my father couldn't take care of me, couldn't send me to school. He could send me to school, but I won't be. We were in the military barracks, so I would have personally taken care of myself, but he couldn't take care of us because I was taking care of my siblings, doing van conductor then when I was, you know, just in elementary school, which is primary school, going into secondary school class one in the 80s, early 80s. As I 70, 76, 78, 79, I was very young, like a teenage young, 12, 13 years old, doing conductor to feed my younger ones. You know, then my older brother just graduated from high school. Then we were in the north, which is the middle belt, as at that time, in Georgia in particular, doing conductor from when I get out of school. And I was still brilliant, I still get good grades, Even when it came, even joined, went back to television college, I was one giving him, then if you have 1 naira in Nigeria, it's big money. I give him 2 naira, transport with it, eat with the other 1 naira. You know, the point it came that he was going to, he met a friend at the father pass that they were going to do a recording, that he needed money to, give to the bank as whatever. I don't know what fees, they have to pay certain fees, and they're looking for how much were they looking for? Maybe about 20,000 naira at that time. Big money, like you have 20 million now. So what would happen was then we now decided, okay, I got 8,000 for a young kid to save 8 grand. I'm a big kid. So I gave him the 8,000 naira. So they're gonna look for the rest, 12,000 naira somewhere. That's the money I saved from my conductor. Being a bus conductor as a kid. So what happened now was like, okay, he ended up not being able to get that money from the bank. So I don't know how my father got to know about the situation. My father threatened him like, you got to bring your baby brother's money back. So you mean you guys got this kind of money in this house? So the old man gonna use that money to drink anyway, get drunk all the time as a soldier. So so I wasn't, I've been hiding this money, saving this money so that I can, prepare myself to pay my school fees. These people come here and disrupt everything. That's money saved. And I have a cage that I train my little birds. Like I got a lot of chickens. The ducks, around the corner that I sell once in a while too. So at the end of the day, what happened? My father grabbed that money and boozed up with it, and used a little bought some fresh meat, cooked some real. Father cooked for the first time. Cooked for the first time. So cook with a lot of meat. Like that time you spend 100 naira. Wow, that's big money. Buy meat, it's like you spend 100,000. So it cooked. We ate. I was crying throughout the day. That money's gone, boy. So, well, I just, so my father since then, anytime he need money for cigarette or to booze, like, yeah, hey, they gave me, that was when he gave me the name EDI Bruce, EDI Bruce, EDI. It's the hell of me. My best favorite son, EDI Bruce. I know you're gonna be a great man. Pour away some me. I put my hands in the pocket and give him whatever I have. you know, I give him whatever I have, and the old man just blew out, pop, go get his cigarette and his booze. Yeah, that's the way he want to enjoy his life, no problem. So our situation really got so worse that I like, what we gonna do now? We gotta do something. Um, then after that, my older brother now finished with his television college thing and went back to Lagos. No, he didn't go back to Lagos. Went back to Delta. Yes, went to Delta and maybe had a meeting with my father's older brother, who is a lawyer. That we're not leaving well. It left to me. I should have just decided to say no, because I'm like king where in how I live. I don't. I'm already used to being able to fend for myself, and I do it well. But when he said, the old man said we have to come so that I can go to school, a better school, blah 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 blah. I said, okay, no problem. Let's do this then. So at the end of the day, they moved. They gave him money. Came picked all of us up. Then we're like with total of five of us anyway, which is two girls and three boys. So apart from him, that is the oldest. So me and one other boy. Then my father have another boy with another woman and another girl. So that makes us seven. So now I have to move all six of us with him back to Delta, Ughelli, to live with our uncle. We don't call him uncle, we call him daddy. And I was that lived there. The wife was one of the most brutal humans ever. Abused. I would use my head to go fetch water. I would eat without meat. But I still keep my hustle on. I have my chickens that I raise, that the old man used to serve his idol then. We used the chicken. Then when the time came when they really hated me, and destroyed my chicken house. My chicken house, that's my coven. That the me and the birds are disturbing him and got the boys destroyed. Why? Because that's how I raise money to feed myself. I don't eat in their house. They don't feed me well. They don't give me good food. That the wife told my uncle one day, "Oh, Eddie is getting a lot of good grades. He studied more than doing the housework." Then the old man wore a demonic ring and commanded me to bring my head and hit me on my middle of my head. Give me one of the baddest knocks that can tear somebody's head up. I tell you, my brain shifted. I can hear oh my God, I've been through a lot. It is so bad. It looked like I fainted. And I got back up again. I swear from that day, my grades dropped. I used to take the first. Used to come first in the class. And I was struggling. I started struggling with my grades. The old man opened his mouth and said, "Oh, so you think you want to become somebody better?" I was in class 3. That's at that time in class 3. I wasn't a boy no more. I was a grown teenager, very mature, responsible, and respectful, you know. So when it hit me on that day, my grades just dropped from first. I started making like 17. Wow, there's somebody that's a prefect in the class. No more making, wow. From when I started my secondary level, I enjoyed the role of prefectship because my grades are good. The teacher will even leave me, I'll be teaching the whole class, both in mathematics and English. That I was in class 3 when I did an extended course with this school in London. It's called Rapid Resort College, London. Yeah, Rapid Resort College. I got a diploma in English at the age of 12 or 13. I got a diploma in English in London. London Rapid Resort College. I don't know where I kept that certificate to now. But I tell you, when this woman, uncle's wife, told the husband, "Oh, Eddie's all it does is read, study, getting high grades, not doing housework again." The old man picked up a ring, wore it, and give me a bad knock on the head. That you think you're gonna be somebody from here? My people, mind who you give your children to. No matter if they are blood relatives, they are dangerous people, wicked-minded people. But the story long. The story is long. If we say we should talk about it, it's going to be 9 hours to about 15 hours. But we're going to wrap it inside, inside one like that. So, at the end of the day, what happened? We now decided we are going to survive in it. We are going to make sure we do things accordingly. Now, what happened from there? My grade dropped like I said. My grade dropped. I started struggling with education. Then the next thing that happened again, the old man sent me at almost midnight, like 11 o'clock, gave me a old 5 naira I got from the shrine and told me to go and meet one head of Ubona then in our town there, which is, he didn't give me transportation, just give me old 5 naira to go and give this guy. I have to trek, almost like 40 minutes trekking from one side of town to another, which is maybe what? Let's say about 7-8 miles from our house. Round trip, that's 14-16 miles. So I was saying a prayer. Then they see me, but they can't do me anything. Not then go forth, die at all times. So I got there. Luckily, this old man was attending to somebody. So Immediately, he turned and looked at me and turned back and was helping that person. I said, okay, no problem. I waited. Then when he turned, I gave him the old 5 naira that the old man gave me to give him. And it's like, are you the one he sent? Then he took the 5 naira from me. He said, go. Tell him I've heard and I've seen you. I said, okay, excuse me. So, what happened? I went back that night. I got there, the old man already slept. I like, now knock on his window. I said, like, I'm back. Immediately, this old man heard my voice. He was angry like he's going, like, if he had a cutlass, he was going to cut me up or something. I'm like, wow. He was so angry. I said, man, what kind of person would be this upset? Ha ha ha. So I ended up just going to my little room to sleep. Woke me up early in the morning. You know. No, they tried to create, through the wife, and something happened, and I was so angry with now I'm not a different entity. I now got rage in me, and like, okay, I got another older brother there, which is his stepson, his second son, who was always, abusing me, beating me up. I was like his punch bag at that time. Till one day I raged up and like, then the old man, oh, you gonna fight your older brother, give me a slap and all that, kick me out of the building. There's a lot of things that happen. It's so sad. So the wife now created a panic mood, whatever, At the end of the day, what happened? He kicked me, got me arrested, that I brought in old cutlass and wood that I was going to use it to hit his wife and all that stuff, locked me up. And, the police came pick me up with a machete with no handle. It was a terrible life. With wood that I was going to, okay. At the end of the day, after a while I stayed in there, they released me anyway. They want me not to go back to the compound, and that was it. I hustled around with friends. I rented one room from one lady. That's like 10 naira a month. I gave the woman the 10 naira. The woman have a shrine, a shrine where they dance and worship the water spirits. Worship the water mermaids. That's what we call them. Yeah, so she was there, and I know the son, her first son was my classmate in high school. So, although that one died too because the father shot him, he's a rascal. So, may so rest in peace. So I stayed there for a little bit, and later on advanced from there to another place to stay with a friend who is a singer and a comedian. I stayed there. Then before that one, now decided to go to Lagos. Move from Ughelli to Lagos to, continue with his musical career. So at the end of the day, I stayed in that one room, fully furnished with everything in his father's compound. I don't have to pay rent no more, but I have to feed myself. So from there, I started the music thing. We'll bring Tony Gray from Warri to Ughelli to perform with at the Koriko Club with the Koriko Sun. who never broke even because it costs a lot to bring this guy from from Warri to Ughelli. So from there, uh, that first show that came through um, ended up not doing good, but I wanted to perform. Even Tony Gray is passed through now, man. So recipes. He didn't want me to jam. So, but luckily went on a short break, and his younger brother Ima Gray, who was on the drum, he had a good spirit then. I don't know what happened to him. Got some jealous mind later, but he was the one that helped me to hold the microphone for the very first professionally, you know. And they told him, all I do was just sing solo, sing solo a cappella and like that, but do rehearsals, but never perform in front of an audience. So I got people that are with me that like, oh, let Eddie sing, let Eddie sing, let Eddie sing. So what happened? The Ima let me handle the mic. It's okay. What song you want to sing? Was singing as give me Cool and the Gang, Fresh. Man, I never sang on a note. I sang on this note like I've been playing for some time. I've been singing professionally for like maybe 5 to 7 years. First time. My goodness. This was around 1984. When this guy, they started playing this junk, 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 boom, 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 boom. I put in my voice. Boy, I jammed so crazy that Tony Gray himself was in the artist dressing room, was on chilling, came out. I'm like, who? Did they bring another artist? He didn't know that me that brought him from Warri to play with, I'm the superstar. So, golly. And he connected with me from that day. I think that's where the jealousy of the brother came. Wow. So I started, anyways, doing gigs. He would invite me. I would play with him. Invite me to the Warri Stadium. We perform. I did songs that I didn't even rehearse with them. I just played this song. We were playing. I was singing songs that people cannot imagine anybody could sing that time. I create mad creativity. So from there, I got my groove on already. I know what I'm doing. I know it's time to go to Lagos. Then my older brother already there established as a backup singer. And when he was a backup singer, he would buy clothes and put money in the envelope to give to somebody to come give me. I said, oh, thank God, this generational thing didn't affect this man. Show love. I said, God, please keep it like that. But one bad friend or bad wife could destroy everything. And that's exactly what happened. Immediately got married to this woman. That was it. I didn't know I was going to fall into that. Should I just stayed in Ughelli? Second mistake again. I would have just stayed in Ughelli, established myself. But no. This guy would have still moved demonically. So I got to Lagos. We were living in one room with my now late uncle, Ekweran, Major Ekweran, who is late now. We're living in one room there at the Keja cantonment. So I was sleeping on the floor, and it made it so uncomfortable for me. I went back to Ughelli again. I went back to rewrite my why because I didn't get the first one. So I went to work grammar school to rewrite the second one. And I wrote it. So after finishing it, I did better than the first one, but not as I would expect. Why would you do too good when your life, the whole life is frustrated around you? You won't do this, So at the end of the day, came back to Lagos. He already released the song. Then the song was doing good. The album, I mean. So I even came back to Lagos. I took the album round, was pushing the album, was very excited that my older brother is got his album out, not knowing the brother was not happy with me. So the next thing he would do is like, well, I don't think we can do this music together. Like I thought I could join your band, become your backup singer for now. Like we go from there. I said no, they don't want me to be in the music business with him. Go and do something else. And he won't even stop there. He would tell people that are close to us to tell me to quit. One late Bumi Olajubun, very good woman, great singer. The woman saw me like, Eddie, you're a great guy. This is what your brother said. But I know who is pushing him. He has a very bad wife. There was a day she showed me what to go and move out of where she had the caliber that no eye can see that she has seen it go move it. I swear this woman was out for a long time. Immediately I went into the house looking for this thing. She came back. Like, what are you looking for? The third day, what happened to me? Not the third day, that same night, I was in a studio recording. Then one idiot, that my own brother already told, my brother is this and that. Went to my older brother and told my brother, oh, your brother is bragging. It's like they throw a spell out there that whatever they tell anybody, they will just believe it. Your younger brother is bragging. He's bragging that he sings better than you. And man will come back at midnight and use a guitar, a regular guitar, acoustic guitar, and hit me on the head with it. So I used my elbow to block it, and the whole thing, I can feel the pain on my elbow for a long time. And kicked me out of the house. That's 212 Iju Road. I still remember that address. Kicked me out of there. I went to stay with a girlfriend. No eating well. This Port Harcourt babe was going to kill me. It was sex. Every day. And I can't eat good. That nothing was coming out of, not even water. So what I did, I ran away from her. I went to some friends at K2 were sleeping on the ground there. I don't need sex now. I'm going to die. It's another bad stigma. Man, the women could be real possessed with that thing. So, I stayed there. When I went to Oshodi to do conductor, they almost killed me. Then I took courage, go back to this brother, help me. Let's do this, No, I don't, if you, In spite of that, he did all that to me. I still went back to him to beg him, to tell him, listen, see life from a different perspective. We could be greater if we work together. This guy said no. Over his dead body, he told me point blank that he'd rather see my enemy die in poverty and anguish than to see me in the music business. That means he never want to see me do music. Have you seen a thing like that? This man went as far, conjuring all kind of evil demonic powers, converting my aura and star to his own. A lot of demonic things were going on. That we at a show, even we came to reconcile one time, at a show in Saple, and a white steam was coming out of my head. When I find out about that thing, they said, this man you call your brother have converted your enemy's star to your own, but you are a strong man. You have a whole lot of them. You know, so I decided to go back on the street again, doing conduct. That they almost killed me at Oshodi. Then I summoned courage one day. And before I go there, what pains me most? My older brother invited my older sister from Warri to come to Lagos to tell me, to warn me, not to do music again. But you see, as God would do it. Her own first son, when he finished secondary school, came to Lagos to stay with his older brother too. And the older brother kicked his nephew out of the house. Who went back to him to beg for the boy to stay there? Me. Let him stay. But the mother came to tell me not to play music. But the son is playing music. If I'm a bad person, what do you think will happen? We exchange demonic powers, but I'm pure. Never hurt, and I would never hurt. So, what happened? What will you do in a situation like that? When family turn against you? Then I said, okay. If that will make you happy, what do you want me to do? Oh, we have a friend. It's a retired major. He does swimming pools and all that. I'm very crafty. Yes, I want to learn that. I'm going to, learn how to do that, and I will pick it from there. Took me to the guy. The guy looked at me, and like, no, I have enough people. And threw me out. I said, man, okay. And what happened later between him and that same guy that he think is a good friend? The guy duped him of everything that he had and threatened to kill him if you come close to him. Meanwhile, I was on the other side, got a job in a club, former cornerist at Ologu there in Ikeja. And the manager of the club that time, this is like what, 1990, 91, said he needed a guarantor in person. So when he heard, Okri, you have an older brother that's, popular, big star. Okay, the guy took it on himself. We want to use the opportunity to meet with him, to greet him, shake hands with him. Not that they're going to be paying me to DJ there. I never DJed before, but whatever, I stood there and I said, I can DJ, I can do this thing. To change records. And I swear, I started on that turntable, man. I was mixing like I've been a DJ for 10 years. The guy like, wow, man, you're good. You're real good. And I would have grown from there as a DJ. Then when he got to my brother's place, you know what he said? They said, okay, Eddie said we want to know if it's somebody that they can, that's reliable, that they can leave a place for that long. I mean, to be a DJ, to be like a club DJ and the manager of the place. And I'm hungry. I ain't got no place to stay. I got a free place to stay. That would be my house, and I would be sleeping on the couch there. And my own older brother said he does not guarantee me, he doesn't trust me. and he doesn't trust that, he can put his responsibility, he can guarantee me for anything, that he does not trust me. Wow. And I'm like, have I stolen from you before, or have you seen that I stole from somewhere before? Why would you say that? He said he just said it. He cannot guarantee me because he doesn't. Threw me under the bus, my own brother. And the guy stood up. I'm like, well, sorry, we can't give you that job. Went back again, struggling on the street again. I called for death. Death won't come. Everyone was silent, and I don't want to do it. So what's wrong with this man? Why are you this evil? You don't want me to play music. Now they came that I should DJ, pay me peanuts just for me to have a place to stay. At least eat well Why? Why are you doing this? What's the reason behind this? Then I left. Broken. Then one day I picked up the courage. Let me go around studios so that I can be doing backup singing. One day I had this rehearsal at then Antonio. Antonio is a producer of concerts and events. Antonio Productions, Aigbe, at Antonio Village. I got there, luckily. Free World was there rehearsing. But it was with Jay Beto and other artists performing on the tour, on the Eastern tour. When I got there, Uche Beto didn't have a backup singer. They're like, Eddie KRIZ is here, Eddie KRIZ is here. Oh, good. Before you know it, I'm part of the team. I was already dropping harmonies, 13 notes. Like the woman, like Uche Beto was like, yeah. I was already on tour with her when she now like, are you real true brother to Mike? Meanwhile, looked like, yeah, they were dating each other. Mike was like his backup singer. In fact, like, why did you go do backup for Uche Beto? You need to stop. I said, well, you crazy. You must be stupid. Tell me to do that. Are you feeding me? Are you helping me? How can you tell me to stop working? Then suddenly on tour, the woman didn't even want me to sing. When I'm singing, it's like some other thing is touching her brain. Maybe she used that to connect to what they used to do together, She would like start hating. Immediately we finished that tour, I really didn't bother with her no more. That was it. And I think that was some of the last shows she ever did. She never toured again. So I made some money from there, and I ended up, just rented a room, furnished it, and I became my own master from there. From my own room, we hang out with, when I, got my wardrobe full with some bend down boutique, some more cricket clean ones. I look like a superstar now. Going from studio to studio to do backup. I started writing jingles for Roosevelt, doing stuff from political stuff to like part of everything that was going on. P-Man was doing award 1990, 91, 92. I was part of the national anthem team, never paid anyway. P-Man never paid one dime. We didn't get one dime from them. Did all that, go to the rehearsal for like days before the award night. Not even costume they provided. But they collected a lot of money. and then compensate us. I'm talking about 3 awards, 3 best awards done in Nigeria, the Nigerian Music Awards. Not one naira being paid to me. I don't know if they gave money to the rest, to people like, the last one was coordinated by Kingsley Ogoro, which is Abuja 92, sponsored by IBB and all that stuff with the Nigerian government. Not one naira was given to us. We're ripped off with Tony Okoriji and all the rest then. Not one naira. But we use it as a means of like, yes, even the Abuja 92, the costume that I wore was because a cloth that my older brother gave to me, that he did according to what the prophet said, he did something on that shirt that anytime I wore that shirt, something will leave my body. I said, I don't care. It's a fine shirt. Guess what? I wore it to the award night. And this older brother saw me. We're on the same stage. It's doing the national anthem alongside with me and others. It's somebody that deprived me. When he saw me wearing the same costume, he shouted, "No, I'll give you." I said, "No, I don't need nothing from you. This one, that's what I wore on that award night with IBB, everybody on the stage." Later on, IBB dropped him from the roof. I don't know where it came from. Hang out with people like MKO, did the reparation performance at what they call a Cola Meridian, which they call a Co-Hotel now. So we've been involved with a lot of positive things. In there, I did the Abiola campaign. MKO is our man who, I was so tiny that I was one that did that traditional dance. I don't know where that video is. It was done by Link Studios. Some African Americans that came in with their video production company there, doing marketing productions and video productions. So that's how we rolled till, things start changing, gradually becoming a man. Dated this woman that I thought was going to be a one night stand. Was a devil sent. Came and locked everything down. I was rising and she came in. That's why you have to be careful who you hang with. And that was it. Force herself in. When she's gone, no woman will look at my face. Fine boy. God, no. And when she come back, she look fresh again. Like, oh, dude, I have 2 sons. It was terrible life. So, now, what happened to a situation like that? To a man that is going through a lot, you stand in prayers. So, what happened that then the same older brother, after in and out of quarrel fights, and now called me up. Said there's a tour, U.S. tour. Let's go to the U.S. I mean, why? Then Nelson Brown, the producer of the Plantation Boys, which is now one of them, the popular artist Two-Face. I took Nelson Brown into the studios, paid him. It was like a studio support, but I made him a main producer of my album because I knew he had a lot of skills. He has learned from the masters. So I like, Nelson, you're going to be the one producing this album. Okay? You produce this album. And what we're going to do is, when we finish producing it, we'll find sponsor for it, a recording deal. And he said, okay. Man, we recorded this album, and it was like the best current album that would have won Grammys. You know what? Nelson got a deal. I didn't even spend 20,000 naira to record that album. He came back and said somebody was going to drop, what, a 50 or 100 grand so that we reproduce the album properly. Okay. That's some Igbo boys. That was when Alaba just really started. That's when Igbo boys listened to this music. They said, this guy is a mega star. And that same album, when it was a demo, I took it to Polygram Records, which is now, they call Premier, but I think they're off the market now because Karma really hit them. They messed with me twice. So then Dindisi was the managing director of the company, got my demo then, and he loved it. So, man, you got some voice. So what I'm going to do is, see if we can sign you. You know, my older brother had a deal with Benson Hedges and crossed over. Had problem with them. They only had 1 year deal, so it was going to cross over to Benson and Hedges to deal with them. Then the Benson said, no, we don't deal with our artists directly. We have to deal with a recording company. So he dropped out of Sony. I want to deal with Benson and Hedges, and they turned him down. And guess what? Moved to Premier. And Premier was preparing to book me for a studio to sign a contract and doing the album fully. And then this would now call me. I went there to get the preparation to sign the contract. And when I got there, he told me, we just signed your brother. That we can sign two brothers. Although your album look more matured and very catchy, with beautiful voice, but he already had a name. We don't have to spend too much. And guess what he named the album? Cracks. So it cracked my deal. That's what it means. And guess what? He recorded 2, 3, 4 albums. That's the fourth one, I think so, the third one. And that was the first time I was going to do a reggae rap on any of his songs. I swear I couldn't do it. Something came like a MAGA flu to block my voice. Man, I tried it. My voice was locked. Man, I said, this man is not my brother. I left the studio. He took the deal with the album. But I still went back to the studio for him to do the voicing, and the team wouldn't let me do. Then they have to find something else. They brought in another guy to do it. My God. This is me that once I open my mouth, the voice wild like a canary. But I got in there. Man, some people will go any length, but the karma that awaits them. So, what happened? I ended up just being who I am. Then this dropped me. Then later on, Nelson Brown took it. I paid Nelson Brown, let's do the full album. Then we'll just look for a major deal. So, immediately we finished doing it when Nelson Brown came, and I wasn't in a good terms with my older brother anyway. I cut him off like almost 2, 3 years, don't talk to him. I'm doing my own thing, and I was living well, was doing well, performing, I have a band, doing everything. This guy was saying for me that by all means I must come. Blood is thicker than water. We need to reconcile and all that stuff. That the big deal is on the ground. We have to get this together. Not knowing he already had this planned out spiritually, demonically. He's planning to move to the United States. And if he goes, because his life is getting frustrated, you cannot fight the innocent and think you're going to live scot-free. The more he was fighting me, more things were going down for him. It was getting worse for him. So he was going to move to the United, get a deal, and get out. He called me up, went to his place. I said, okay. I mean, what? He knows if he go, by the time he get back, by the time he stayed there for like 1 year, my name will be like wildfire. I will even come to the United States and do a tour and be back to Nigeria, where is my main base of success. We would have become a master mega superstar, winning Grammy as at that time, because the songs were so strong. So like, how is he going to stop this? So what he did was try to get me involved. Oh, I want you to join me, let's go make this deal. We're going on US tour, we'll make a lot of money, it's going to pay so. It was crazy. It's change of destiny. He didn't want me to be successful when he's gone. Oh well. He convinced me I should go to US. I went to Nelson Brown. Nelson, man, I'm going to the US. I'm going to the US. They said, we have a tour. No, we just, So, they said, why would you do this? And this man agreed to drop this money in the next week. But those asked, well, not only this idiot or was going to use it just for his own personal vendetta. Got to the US, there was no tour. Were begging to eat. About 15 people in one room, in one bedroom. 1 bedroom apartment. Struggling to it, that I even go get a sales job, to sell merchandise on commission. And I was arrested in the Bronx. All of them said, I don't arrested Okri. It's going to go back. I was doing things to go back anyway. I don't want to stay there, but I'm already in the U.S. U.S. won't let me go. They rather bail me out. My girlfriend then came, found a way, paid the bail bond, and got me out. I was selling because I didn't have a vending license. So what is vending? I have an ID from the company. It don't require of no social security because you don't have documents, you cannot work. So then I showed them the ID in the court. They got me a pro bono lawyer, showed the judge, and they said, work for a company. So why did he arrest him? Dismiss the case. And I left. That was it. Then we renewed our papers out of Durex, and one who was supposed to be the filer brought us in, used our trip to make money for himself. We gave him money to file our extension. It said Johnny Depp's Entertainment didn't know how to book a show. We didn't have no good gig. We were all suffering. And ended up, went to his house. When he kind of laminated the document, instead of giving the original I-94, he gave the photocopy, taking sensitive information out of the thing. And I'm like, why would you do that? Why did you give me the original that the IRS, what is it called? Not IRS, immigration sent to you. Why did you give me photocopy? We argued about it a little bit. I said, okay, well. And I needed that to go get a driver license with a visa, because I already had a social security number. Because we can't work in visa. And this guy shunned me. And that's okay. Thank you. No problem. You do this to me, God is going to pay you back. At the end of the day, He ended up just shunning me. I said, well, no problem. As I was going to open the door, I said, who need you anyway? I said, who need you too? You're nobody. Nobody need you. If not for this one, what would you think I'd do anything with you? So, he came and gave me a slap. Whoa! I'm like, why would you slap me? I didn't like, you talk to me, I talk back to you. That's how you hit me because you think I'm an alien, so you can do anything to me, right? And I gave this guy a head boot and he fainted, fell down. I was trying to revive, woke up, went in the kitchen, got a knife, caught himself in the leg, that called 911, locked the door. I was like, look at this idiot that I feel sorry for that is, I thought it was dying. You called 911 for me? Wow. Man, before we know it, SWAT of police. This is, man, this is 97. SWAT of police, like almost 20 vehicles with guns. Police put a gun on my face. That I, man, like fall on the ground. I don't know what he was talking about. I was still looking at him like, what do you mean fall on the ground? The guy would cock the gun without blowing my brains up. Because I wore a winter jacket, you probably think, yeah, when he said he had a gun, he came to loot his computers and all that, you think there's something in me. So the guy already cocked the gun, but the gun couldn't, these powers didn't allow the gun to answer. He cocked it. He was fighting with his hand was shaking. Then it was the younger brother to this dude that said, Eddie was my friend, you know. And that's the police, obey them. I was like, that voice sounded like voice of my mother, like a voice from an angel from afar. So I fell on the ground, you know, sashed me, did all the, you seen that. They arrested me anyway. They got there, they interrogated me. Because I'm a professional musician, and then I came in as a professional recording artist. Even I was singing for the top officers there at the Brooklyn station. You know, they laughed, they're like, you're a funny guy, man, get out of here. So they said it was a false alarm. So they have to like subpoena him to come to court. And the idiot never ever went. So they released me, dismissed the case. Not dismissed. I was ready to go back home. Man. So they dismissed. So then started struggling, you know, got married to a white woman. Hell again. Back to hell again. You know. Then we had a son. Then 2004 I did a show in Atlanta. You know, after I filed a visa there for this, my older brother was suffering after going through, you know, send him money and all that. Still forgive him. Send him money and everything. And he ended up, you know, requested that he want to come on tour. And I did a visa for him. This nigga got here. Never called me. Somebody else told me, oh, he's here, 2000. I'm like, wow. When I called him, he said, I don't think it's the visa that you filed for me that I used to come. It was somebody else that's a citizen that filed for him that he used. I said, well, I've been just calling to know if you're really in the U.S. Wow. Is that not something? So he ended up telling me he didn't use my document. But I was the one that set up your interview. So what are you talking about, man? It's okay, no problem. We stopped talking again. Then 2004, I was doing this show in Atlanta, and I said blood is thicker than water, just include him. And I included this guy. And I called him up. I wanted to come and do this show in Atlanta. It's a big show. I got almost about 14 artists performing from all over, from late Majek to late Raskimono, Suku Stars, a whole lot of bunch of artists, African American artists, you know, local bands were there, at the Masquerade club, bar and club venue on North Avenue. Then they have a park behind that we're going to do a festival. Man, this man said give him 3 days to consider it. And the third day, when he considered, call me, okay, he's going to talk to his wife. And I talk to your wife. Is your wife your manager? And I remembered why I didn't talk to him when we got to the US that time in '96. That same album that I couldn't release in Nigeria, I used it to get an independent deal here with a guy in Boston. And when my brother and the wife heard about it, and the wife was like, wow, so you think you're gonna be the first one to get an American deal, huh? Let's see. You know that the same guy that was praising me, petting me like a king, when I called him up to arrange my movement from New York to Boston for recording and all this stuff, warned me not to ever call his number again, even though he's going to call the immigration on me. So all this happening, I cut all of them off. My own brother's wife said something, and look at what happened. I'm like, wow, these people are extremely demonic, but God is not going to forgive them. So, ended up doing the show. The day it came, there was a big blanket of darkness woven around the venue. Things getting destroyed. A guy that I said to help me sell a ticket, I would give him $3 per ticket he sold. Said no, he want $5. I called him up, brought people to the front of the show, telling people that my show is figured out. None of my artists came. People were reversing, going to another club where they had a free club. You know what happened to that club later? The club was catch fire, was on fire. They got the insurance, opened another one. You don't know, that same guy, when I prayed, that same guy is no more existing because he fell sick and died later. And those that hurt me never had peace because I hurt nobody. I prayed and blessed people. And this brother, when he came, was very close to my ex-wife, the white woman, and gave her something. And him was very close to my woman's like, why? And gave her something to swallow. I booked him on a flight, put him on a hotel, was fed him well, make sure everything was well. Came and destroyed the show. Demonically. At the end of the day, I just looked at everything. When he left, my ex-wife started acting cuckoo, like cuckoo-ish, like she's mental or she's demonically possessed. Then one day she came to me, she started doing things, causing problems. I'm like, what is going on with you, honey? What's going on? Why are you doing this to her? He said, listen, say your brother gave me something to swallow. That my brother gave her something to swallow. And the thing has been tormenting her to destroy me. That the best thing is for me to kill her so that, get a gun and all that. I said, listen, so that she won't carry on their mission. I said, what mission? To destroy me? I said, listen, I didn't come to this world, to this life, to take any blood because my spirit, my angel will not accept that. And that's not my line. Let's go to the church. Let's talk to the pastor. Let's do things that can rebuke the spirit. She started causing more problems, more trouble. Man, this woman did a lot of damage, destroyed everything that I built. But today, she's on a wheelchair. She's handicapped now. She's diabetic. She all kind of stuff happening to her. Kids taken from her. See her in the early 40s, look like she's 95 years old with all kind of sicknesses. This is my biography. My brother that just come to hurt my family, use her to do a lot of demonic stuff, poison my food, my stomach start getting swollen. They did it with yeast. Hurt my shows, that anywhere I go to play, people don't come out to support me. But the ornament of God, which is the ornament of light of God, have dropped again upon me. That I'm shining now, that I'm glorious now, that I'm blessed with talent. Doors are opening up. I'm recording, but he's not recording. Couldn't record a good song no more. I'm recording great songs. I'm composing songs that will open a zillion doors. Right now, and from 2016 to now, I did a lot of recordings. A song called Free, that one took over the airwaves, was trying to go up. And that song Free, Chidima and Wind Your Body Round were produced by a young cat called Wise Don, mixed by Dan Jiggy. So out of those three songs, because Free was more a party song that I thought, I released it. I released that song. Spent some money. It's been struggle. You know you're in Nigeria. Then I did that Chidima. I didn't have time to promote Chidima. So it is Wind Your Body Round now that we just released now. And it's on YouTube. And it's making mega master waves that, man, like nothing else. This is huge. In 2 weeks we hit 10,000 views, over 200 subscribers. Man, it is master song that, man, everybody love to hear. Everybody love, to view. And I give thanks to God. So right now, this interview, I couldn't say everything because it's too much to talk about. But what you need to do, but then love one another, because whatever thing we do on this earth goes along with our spirit, and that karma will pay for it from generation to regeneration. Don't be jealous of nobody, because what that person could do, you too can do it. So that's a good thing about everything. So try and be nice to people at the most, and always do right and stand right. And I love you to the bone, and I will always send messages to you. Even with this now, and I discovered that we could start our own talk show here, right here, and do great stuff. And Wind Your Body Round is a great song, and more songs are coming. Mega master songs are coming in. So try and view and share. EDI KRIZ Okri is a brand that is a great brand. And my band, the Afrocentrics, I've created a band going almost 20 years now, the Afrocentrics. And I'm the king of the creator of the Afrotones, the African king of jam, the African king of pop. And we're doing it, and we're doing it loud. We're doing it large. We're going places from now. And the light and the hand of God is upon me to shine and rise. And any evil one that want to trespass shall be destroyed or broken. because my hands are clean and pure. I love you to the bone, and I would like to see you on any next show, any next gig that comes on. And be loved forever. Amen.